Did you know that one of the earliest time travel stories in the world comes not from H.G. Wells, but from a Japanese folk tale written over 1,300 years ago? Or that the entire aesthetic of The Matrix owes its DNA to an anime created in Japan in the 90s? Welcome to the world of Japanese science fiction, a genre that doesn't just imagine the future, it questions what it means to be human, to suffer, to transform. In this video, we're diving deep into the historical roots, key milestones, groundbreaking works, and global influence of Japanese sci-fi. By the end, you'll understand why it's one of the most essential genres in the global storytelling canon. 1. Origins of Japanese sci-fi. Let's start way back, before the term science fiction even existed. In 720 CE, a Japanese legend titled Urashima Taro told the story of a fisherman who visits an underwater palace, only to return to find 300 years have passed. In the 10th century tale, The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter, a mysterious girl from the moon is sent to Earth during a celestial war. It includes visual descriptions that uncannily resemble flying saucers. Sound familiar? Fast forward to the Meiji Restoration, when Japan was rapidly modernizing and consuming Western ideas. This era gave birth to the term kagaku shosetsu, or scientific novel. Shunro Oshikawa, inspired by Jules Verne, penned Kaitei Gunkan in 1900, which depicted submarine warfare years before it became real. Uno Juza followed, often referred to as Japan's first sci-fi writer, blending Tesla-style tech obsession with post-war anxiety. Japanese sci-fi from the beginning wasn't just borrowing from the West, it was digesting global technology through a distinctly Japanese lens, ancient mythology, Shinto spirituality, and the trauma of cultural upheaval. 2. The post-war shift and tokusatsu. After World War II, everything changed. Japan had seen real devastation, and that pain found a voice in science fiction. 1954's Godzilla, directed by Ishiro Honda, was more than a monster flick. It was a metaphor for nuclear destruction. Godzilla himself, awakened by atomic testing, represented the uncontrollable consequences of modern warfare. This film kicked off the era of tokusatsu, special effects-driven science fiction cinema. Shows like Ultraman and Kamen Rider combined traditional puppetry with cutting-edge effects to tell stories of alien invasions, cybernetic heroes, and moral ambiguity. The visual flair of tokusatsu evolved from kabuki and bunraku, marrying tradition with modern spectacle. Through tokusatsu, Japanese sci-fi wasn't just warning us about technology. It was showing us how to reimagine heroism, identity, and society in a broken world. 3. The anime revolution. Now let's talk about anime, the medium where Japanese sci-fi exploded into full, unrestrained creative force. 1988's Akira, based on Katsuhiro Otomo's manga, is a post-apocalyptic epic set in Neo-Tokyo. It's not just cyberpunk, it's body horror, political allegory, and philosophical bombshells wrapped in mind-blowing animation. The film's iconic visuals, neon cityscapes, grotesque mutations, would go on to define the entire cyberpunk genre. Then came Ghost in the Shell, 1995. A haunting meditation on consciousness and identity in a world of cybernetic enhancement. Its visuals were so influential that when the Wachowskis pitched The Matrix, they showed the studio Ghost in the Shell as their reference. Other titles like Neon Genesis Evangelion tackled psychology and existential dread. Paprika blurred the line between dreams and reality. Psycho-Pass asked if we should let AI control morality. Japanese sci-fi anime wasn't just speculative, it was intellectual, spiritual, and radical. 4. Literary giants and cultural reflection. Japanese sci-fi didn't stop at screens, it thrived in literature. Writers like Sakyo Komatsu gave us Japan Sinks, a disaster novel so gripping it was adapted multiple times. Shinichi Hoshi was known for his micro stories, flash fiction that packed philosophical punches. Yasutaka Tsutsui, author of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, merged sci-fi with satire, reflecting Japan's shifting identity in the face of tech and globalization. What makes these stories resonate is how they fuse sci-fi tropes with uniquely Japanese concerns: collectivism versus individualism, spiritual rebirth, the ethics of memory, and trauma. Whether it's anime or prose, Japanese sci-fi acts as a cultural mirror, grappling with the tension between tradition and modernity, between rapid tech growth and deep-rooted philosophy. 5. Global influence and legacy. Japanese sci-fi didn't stay local. It went viral, long before that word was digital. From Blade Runner to Black Mirror, Western sci-fi borrows aesthetic and thematic DNA from Japan. Even Elon Musk's futurist branding feels like it walked out of Akira. Contemporary creators like Jordan Peele, Denis Villeneuve, and the Duffer Brothers cite Japanese works as major influences. Platforms like Netflix are now filled with Japanese sci-fi adaptations, proving global appetite for these deeply imaginative stories is stronger than ever. Outro. Japanese science fiction is not just about mechas and monsters. It's about what it means to be alive in an age of machines, trauma, and transformation. So if you're only watching Western sci-fi, you're missing half the story. Smash that like button if you learned something new, and tell us in the comments, what's your favorite piece of Japanese sci-fi? Thanks for watching, and see you in the future.